Well, I'm sure you all are used to, or at least the last several days, hearing about this thing in Cyprus. Where in the hell and what in the hell is Cyprus? Little old tiny country somewhere, right? And the IMF's basically saying that they can just reduce people's accounts, bank accounts within Cyprus down 10%. You owe us some money, so we'll just, take 10% off the top, not of your country or the government, people's bank accounts. And they had a little vote in the country, and they said no, which is good. However, it's starting to make gold and silver look really, really good. Because if you're holding silver in your hand, they can't really deduct it 10% from the kidney. Now, sure, they can move the price anytime they want, but the physical object, they cannot remove 10% of the silver from you. And again, with the manipulation that they've been doing for years and years and years on gold and silver, to sit here and see even $30 silver or 29, wherever it's ended today, when it was $4, $5, $6 back in 2004 and then 2005, and then in around 07, 6, and 7, it starts picking back up. And, I think it was around $12, $13, $14 around that time frame. Long story short, where we at today? We're at $30 silver. Stock market, last 10 years, pretty much done this. I hadn't gone anywhere. As a matter of fact, it did start lower and go higher and then just peter off. 14,000. Then we had the 2008 crash. Boom. 2009, 10, 11, 12, and now 13. It's finally back up to where it left off, which is incredible, isn't it? So what do we have here now? We have people losing faith in the current financial system across the world. Why? Because across the world, it's the same rule. It's the same system. It doesn't matter if it's in China, India, Cyprus, the EU, etc., Eurozone, US, it does not matter. They all do fractional reserve lending. It's all based on a piece of paper that's worthless, backed by nothing, etc. So I'm seeing something interesting here today, which is very interesting. Bernanke, head of the Federal Reserve in the U.S., strong dollar, world's reserve currency. Cyprus, taking people's money and deposit. This is America. This is America. Never happened here. Having said that, let's just see what old Bernanke said. At this afternoon's press conference, Bernanke, in response to a question posed as to whether the Fed would ever impose depositor haircuts, as was attempted this week in Cyprus, Fed Chairman Bernanke confirmed that Cyprus-style depositor haircut wealth confiscation is possible here in the U.S. if the Cyprus event or another event in Europe were to become contagious and the people lose confidence in the U.S. dollar. Then, in fact, it could happen here. That's what's beating around the bush. That's how he answered it. Okay? So if it's to become contagious, what's happening over in Europe, another one of these Cyprus things happens, then people could lose faith in the U.S. dollar. And, of course, all other dollars, because they're also faith-based. There's nothing in behind them. There's no backing. It's a piece of paper. Then he's saying, yeah, it could go to that level, And you know what I love about the show Doomsday Preppers? I watch that whenever it comes on all the new episodes. I love it. Love watching it. And I love seeing some of the people's reasoning. Like they had a guy on there the other day that's worried that a terrorist attack is going to come in here, or a terrorist group will come into the U.S. and actually take over the entire U.S. And they'll run the money system, they'll run the stores, they're going to take over everything. That was his line of thinking for making himself become a prepper. There's not a chance in hell, I don't believe, that would happen. But again, it's interesting to see why people prep and that kind of thing. And every time, I've been watching that show for like the last 2 years or however long it's been on now. I think it's been the last couple of years. And anytime someone's on there, I'm a prepper because I'm prepping for blah, blah, blah. When that blah, blah, blah turns into financial collapse, bank run, anything financial or economic and related to the United States, at the end of the little episode, Practical Preppers gives you your score on food, such and such, your score on water, such and such, your score on shelter, right? They give them a little rating. And then they, again, always at the end, when they're giving the little ratings, expert U.S. economists and world economists think while it is possible, that's an economic collapse could happen, nowadays it is absolutely incredibly unlikely, and not one economist thinks that would happen anytime in the next 10 or 20 years or something like that. They always end it the same way. It says like the same thing. Yet the available data, $17 roughly trillion in debt and climbing rapidly. Almost 50 million people on food stamps when just a few years ago it was like 24 million. A few years ago. We're told our unemployment, as I read the other day, it's down 7.7% now. Man, recovery. No, I don't think it's recovery. I think it's shenanigans, lies. Because if that's the recovery, then almost if again 7.7% from where the high 9.1 or I don't even know what ours was at the high. Was it in the 9s or 8s? Maybe it was in the 8s. Whatever it was. If it's coming down, then automatically food stamp usage has to go down too. Because you can't be approved for food stamps when you got a job. And even if you have a basic job, most of the time you're denied. It has to be a terrible job and you're the only one working in the family kind of thing. And we had a friend in Florida that was in that situation. And as soon as her husband got a job, and she did not have a job still, boom, you're taken off of your $800 a month food stamp. Gone. See ya. He got a full-time job. No more for you. So if that's the case and they took it like that, this guy got a job and within a few days, it was boom, gone. Like that quick. So if it's gone that quick, and I'm seeing whatever the high of our unemployment was in recent couple years, and then now it's down to 7.7, looking great, then by God, that food stamp usage should be going down. And unfortunately, it's not. It's not going down. Therefore, you've been lied to. So, having said all that, looking at this, it is now possible. It always was possible, especially if you've been my subscriber. We talk about this stuff. I told you, get your money out of the banks. I keep 1 to 2 months, usually roughly, sometimes in between there, 1 to 2 months, or let's call it 1.5 to 2 months worth of bills in the bank, period. Because let's just say this happened and they wanted to knock 10% out of your account. And you've got $2,000, let's say, in the bank account. And they take 10%. You just lost $200. So your $2,000 turns into $1,800. You're going to be pissed. But at the same time, you're going to say, oh, it's just $200 out of $2,000. Not too bad. But if you had $20,000 and they did it, and you had $20,000 in the bank and they did it, you just lost $2,000. And if you had $200,000 in the bank, you see where I'm going with this? 20 grand. See ya. Gone. This is all very good news for gold and silver, because as people and countries and whatever lose faith in the whole damn economic and financial and banking systems across the world, because again, they're all the same, they're going to have one choice to make. What can I trust? Thousands of years of history has been there waiting on you to discover it in modern times. It's called gold and silver, physical. So, anyways, no, people, where's the experts? Where's the Fox News people? Where's the MSNBC? Where's all the experts? This will, remember old Timothy Geithner? The chances of United States of America getting a credit rating cut, absolutely impossible. Within 2 months, he was dead wrong. If it was even 2 months. Dead wrong, got a credit rating. See ya. The same thing said about our, deposit. We've got FDIC insurance. Come on. Yeah, but do you know how much is in the DIF fund, as they call it? To put out those fires, so to speak? Pennies. Pennies backing up dollars. That's how much, figure of speech, but literally. They have pennies to back up hundreds of dollars worth of money. That's about the analogy. That's about the truth. In other words, they may have billions, hundreds of billions, when they need many, 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 many trillions to back up the depositors. Anyways, another day in paradise. Doesn't matter if I'm in Tennessee. Doesn't matter if I'm in Florida. Doesn't matter if I'm the old IT guy. Doesn't matter if I'm the new barbecue guy. Nothing's changing. So take care.